Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that tries to tackle a massive problem in a really sensitive field, therapy clinics. I mean, how do you manage all of that complexity without ever losing focus on the patient? We're going to explore an open source answer called MediFlow, which is designed to be the digital nervous system for healthcare.
Okay, so here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we'll set the stage with the big challenges that clinics are up against. Then we'll introduce MediFlow itself. After that, we'll get into the cool stuff, like its AI assistant and its core security features. We'll also see how it creates these custom panels for every single role, and then wrap up by asking, what does this all mean for the future of open source healthcare?
You know, every modern clinic is basically performing a high-wire act. They're trying to balance top-notch patient care with rising costs and, of course, the absolute necessity of patient privacy. That right there, that's the core challenge MediFlow was built to solve. This really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? On one hand, you have the actual, critical work of helping patients, but on the other, you're staring down this mountain of administrative work. How do you possibly juggle all of that without one side compromising the other? It's a huge, huge challenge. And that right there brings us to MediFlow. The whole idea is for it to act like a digital nervous system, connecting all the different moving parts of a clinic into one single manageable whole. So at its heart, MediFlow is a web app built to bring a sense of order to all that chaos. It's written in Go, and it is laser-focused on three main things: rock-solid security, total traceability of actions, and making sure everyone has a crystal-clear, defined role in the system. And if we take a quick peek under the hood, this chart tells a really clear story. That huge chunk of Go, we're talking over half the code base, that tells you this system is built on a seriously robust and high-performance backend. The rest of it, well, that's the standard user-friendly front end that the clinicians and patients will actually see and use every day. But look, a solid foundation is just the starting point. The most innovative feature here has to be the integrated AI assistant. And it's really important to get this right away. This is not about replacing the therapist. It's about empowering them. This is exactly where that AI becomes such a powerful support tool. Just imagine a therapist prepping for a session with a long-term patient. Instead of digging through hours of old notes, they get a clean, concise summary of that patient's entire journey with one click. All that time is now freed up to focus completely on the person sitting right in front of them. This quote right here gets to the heart of the system's ethical line in the sand. The AI is specifically programmed only to find patterns and highlight recurring themes from past notes. It will never, ever suggest a diagnosis or a treatment plan. It's purely an insight engine, not some kind of digital doctor. And this flexibility is absolutely key. It means clinics can choose what actually works for them. If you need the raw power of a massive cloud model like Google's Gemini, you can just plug that in. But if your number one concern is total data privacy and avoiding API costs, you can run an open source model locally, right on your own hardware. Of course, in the world of healthcare, all the fancy features in the world mean absolutely nothing without a rock-solid security foundation. Patient data is sacred, and MediFlow is clearly built with that principle at its very core. The system's security really rests on three main pillars. First, role-based access control. Make sure people only see the data they're supposed to see, so a therapist can't see another therapist's patients. Next, soft deletes preserve data integrity, so nothing important ever gets lost by accident. And finally, you've got comprehensive audit logs, which create a complete, traceable history of every single important action taken in the system. Now, this soft delete feature is especially important. When a patient or user is removed, they aren't just wiped from the database. No, they're simply flagged as inactive. And this preserves a complete and unbroken record, which is absolutely essential for legal compliance and for maintaining a full patient history. So, how does the system actually handle all these different people? Patients, therapists, admins, you name it. Well, it doesn't use some clumsy one-size-fits-all interface. Instead, MediFlow gives a unique, tailored dashboard for every single role. Each role gets exactly what it needs and nothing it doesn't. For patients, it's all about simple, secure access. For secretaries, you get a dashboard built for speed and scheduling. For therapists, it's a private, secure space for their patient records. And for the administrator, you get that 30,000-foot view with full control and all the key metrics. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but how can someone actually use this? And maybe more importantly, what does a project like this signal for the future of medical software? For anyone with the technical skills, getting this up and running is designed to be really straightforward. The documentation lays out a clear 4-step process: configure, install, set up the database, and then run it. The goal here is pretty obvious: accessibility. It's about removing barriers for clinics that want to adopt it.
And this isn't just some concept either. It's an actively evolving project. It's already had 2 major releases, which shows a real commitment to stability and means that people can actually download and use this thing today.
And that brings us to our final, pretty provocative thought. Projects like MediFlow really challenge the traditional model where powerful, secure software is incredibly expensive and proprietary. It asks a really powerful question. What if the future of healthcare technology is more collaborative, more accessible, and open for everyone to improve?